In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a mini project using Microsoft Access. Specifically in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create resort management system using Microsoft Access. So the first thing you need to do is, while on your desktop, right click, then go to New, click on Microsoft Access Database. You can see just right here, double click on it to open. Give it time to load. Then you enable the content. You click on File and open a new blank database. So the file name, call it result system, results system. Then using this icon, you're going to select where to save our work. So we call it result system. You can save yours in the desired folder, but in this case we're going to save in our tech manual folder. Open, save. After setting the file name, you can now click on create. Then by default, when a database opens a new file, it usually comes with a blank table. You can always delete this so that you start your work afresh. So close all. Now, for us to be able to create a resort management system, the first things we need to do are we need to have tables. That would be student table, subjects table, and the total marks table. Then to combine those three tables, we need to have a main table that will have the content for the three tables. So we'll start by clicking on the create tab, then you click table. So the first table is here. You right click on it and select design view, and we'll call it student. Then you click OK. So the first row, it has ID, which has been enabled as the primary key, and the data type would remain as auto number. Then we also have second row with the field name as student. Then the data type would be text. Then save it, can close. Then we create a new table again for subject. Right click on it, open design view, we call it subject. The first row is by default ID with the data type as auto number. Then we have subject is the next field name with data type as ID with the data type as text. Then save your work. You can close. We create another table. We call it under design view. We call it total marks. Click OK. Then we'll have another field name called total marks. Be text. Then we save it and close. Now we have three tables, and remember when we started our video, we said we'll have to create three tables and one table which will combine the three three tables. So we call the table main. So we create another table. We create another table called main. Right click on this design view. We call it main table. So the main table will have the ID, then we'll have a student, as the data type will be number, then we'll have subject, the data type still will be number, then we'll have total marks, the total marks, the data type will still be number, then we'll have the marks student scored, so we call it marks scored, which will be text, then we have the teacher's remarks on the performance of student, which will also be text. Then you can save our work and close this table. So after creating the four tables, as you can see, we have main table, we have student, have subject, and the total marks. And remember, main table consists all the details for both student, subjects, and the marks they scored. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to create a relationship between the four forms. So for you to be able to create a relationship in Microsoft Access, what you need to do is click on database tools. So you can see the relationship is just right here. Click on it. Then you select the four tables. Then you click add. You close this. So we're going to drag down main form right there. Now we can try and link the four forms or the three tables to the main table. So the student table will be linked to the main table using ID, which is the primary key for student table. We drag it and link it to student field name on the main table. So click and create that relationship. Then subject ID to subject, create the relationship. Then you have total marks ID to total marks. Then create the relationship. After doing so, you can right click on it, on the relationship, and save. And you can also close it. Fine. So we move on to the next item, where we're going to create our query. So the first thing for you to be able to create a query, you must have tables, of which you have the four tables. But we're only going to create one query, which will be the main tables query that will consist all the details for the three tables. So we click on create. We're going to use a query wizard for us to be able to create our query. So click on query wizard. They're asking us if we need to create a simple query wizard. That's okay. Click OK. So our query, it's going to have the following fields. It will have the ID, the student, the subject, the total marks, then the marks code, and the remarks. So we are going to use all of this to create our query. So the simplest way to do this, you can just use the main, or you can select from each table. So you can do so. Just use the main table to create the query. We have ID, our student, we have subject, total marks, marks code, and the remarks. Then you click here, then click next. We need to be displayed with the details of everything. Then so we click next. Then what will be the title for our query, or rather what name are we going to call our query? So main queries, okay. Click finish. So after click finish, you are able to be displayed with our query and the way it will appear. So we have ID, our student, our subject, we have the total marks, we have the marks code, and we have the remarks. So we can save our work and you can close it. So now we have the tables and we also have the query. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create forms. So the first form you're going to create, it will be a form for main query and the forms for the three other tables, which is student table, subject table, and the total marks. So we start by creating forms for student table. So under create tab, we click on form. It will automatically create for us a form. Then make sure you select this for you to be able to delete it. Then right click on the form, the design view of your form. You can enlarge here. So here we're going to add a button that will enable us to save our work after we add a record. So we use this feature, which is a button feature here. Select on it and we draw our button right there. So this button we're going to use it as a record operations, add new record, okay. Then text, here we're going to write save, then click next and finish. So here you can be able to see that we have save button. After doing that, we can save our work as student form. Then click OK. Now we can close. Move on to the subject table so as you can be able to create the form for our subject table. So click on subject or select subject, go to create tab, then click form. You delete this and open design view. We add our button, which is save button, record operations, add new record, text will be saved, next, then you finish. It is the save button, then you save it as subject form, click OK to save your work, then you close. Then you have the last table, which is total marks. You create the form, make sure you clear this before you continue. Right click on the design view, enlarge it or expand, then you add the button right there. Form operation, add new record, and next text should be save. Click next and finish. Then you can save as total marks form. Click OK to save, and then you close. So we have three forms here. One is for student form, subject form, and the total marks form. So the next form you're going to create, we are going to rely on our query here, which consists all the values for the three tables. So we select the main query and we create the form for our main query. So it will appear like that. I'm going to click on the design view. So we'll add button right there. So this button will be for record operation, add new record. So instead of writing the name of a button as save, it will remain as add record. Then click next and finish. So right here we're going to use combo box feature so that we can be able to insert student, subject, and the total marks. So what you need to do, select student, delete, then come on the combo box feature, select it and click right there. Next, it will be student, select the table student, next, select student, next, next, you're going to select student, next, next, then we are going to select store that value in this field. So we are going to select where our value will be stored. It will be stored under student. Then click next and finish. So here we're going to write student. Then you can drag it up there, release. So we have student combo box. Then we are going to do the same for subject. Combo box, draw it there. Next, subject, next, subject, next. Here we're going to select subject, then click next, next, then where I want to store our values in the subject, then next, finish. So the text here, the name will be subject. Drag it up and release. You repeat the same for total marks. So select total marks, delete, then use combo box. Next, next, total marks, next, next, you select total marks, next, the values be stored in total marks, next, then finish, drag it up, release. So after doing so, you can now save your work, save it as main query form. Click OK to save. Then you can close. Okay, now we have the tables, we have the queries, and we have the forms. So the next thing we're going to create is a report. So we click on create the report. So we are going to use the report wizard. Click on report wizard. Our report will have ID, we have student, we'll have the subject, we have the total marks, we'll have the marks scored and the remarks, of which they're all represented under main query. So just click on this, then you select all of them, then click next, back, and it's okay. Do you want to add any grouping labels? No. So this okay. Then you click next. You can select here the records. Set records up to the fields in either side. You can use the ID, the student, subject, and the total marks. Then click next. Tabular is okay. Click next. Main query. So our report, we call it results report. results report, then click finish. So this is how our report will look like. As you can see, the field names are a little bit squeezed. We can adjust this by right clicking on the report and opening the design view the same. So we are going to select, for example, marks. Remarks, it's big, so you can reduce the size and still move it. Then we have marks code and still do the same, adjust, move. We have total marks, which needs to be a little bit bigger, and then you can format it, arrangement to fit right there. Adjust now, then move it a little bit. Then you have subject, and still move them. Then student, like that. Then our ID, print them there, print them right there. After doing so, we can save and open in report view. So as you can see, they are now okay. Have ID, student, subject, total marks, marks code, and the remarks. You can save and close. So after creating the tables, we have the query, and we have forms and the report. Now we can proceed and create our user interface. So to create a user interface, we are going to use create tab. Under create tab, we'll go to the forms groupings. So under forms grouping, we'll click on blank form. So select blank form. Then under form layout tools, we are going to use a label feature, which is going to help us. The label feature is going to help us. We click on the label feature, then you can click there, you can drag it a little bit, then you type results management system, then you select it, highlight it, then click on format tools, so that you can be able to change the font type to Arial Black. This use size 28, and the background color, let's use green, and the font color can use white. Then you can be able to drag our title in the center, leave it there. So after doing so, we are going now to insert other buttons. For example, the button for add student, button for add the subject record, then the button for setting the total marks, then the result details, and then finally we'll have the button for displaying the results report. So we're going to start by adding our button for add student. So you click on the button, then you come to form operations. We open a form, we click next. Which form are we opening? We're opening student form, then click next. Then you select this option, open the form and show all the records, click next. Text will be add student, and click next, then you finish. So you can highlight it and use a different background. Click on format, select a different background. Let's use this, very black. Let's use size 18. That's okay. Then we proceed and add another button, which will be form operation, open form. The form will be subject form. Next, then you select text. Instead of open form, we write add subject. Click next. Back. Click next. Then you finish. You can enlarge it a little bit. Then move the next button will be the one for marks. So form operation, open form, next, then the total marks form. Click next. The text will be set total marks. Set the total marks. Click next. Then finish. Enlarge it. Now we are going to insert another button, which will be to display the results, the detailed results. So we open the form operation, open form. Next we open now the main query form. Next, then next. The text will be results details. Then click next and finish. So here we're going to use different background to bring about the difference. So click on format, you select a different color, save that. Then different font type, not font type, the font color. You can use red. Then we have now our final button, which would be to display our final report. So click on button, click there. So instead of form operation, we're going to use report operations, where we're going to open our report. Click next. So the report will be the results report. Next, then click select text. So the title will be results report. Then you click next and finish. Manage it. So you can use go to format, then you can increase the size to 26. Then the font the background color can use red. Then the font color you can use white. So there we have our user interface, which will it will be displaying the result management system that will enable us to add the student, add the subject, the set, the total marks. Then you can review the results details. Then you can also review the results report. So after doing so, you can now right click on the form, then you save it, give it a name as result management system. Then you click OK. You can close it. So as you can see, it has been listed under the forms, which is results management system. You can click on it to open. So here we are able to add student, add subject, set the total marks, review the result details, and have the final results details. So we click on add student. You can add student. Let's call him Greg. That is, say, Gregory Johnson. Johnson. You can save. You can add a different name too. You can say Noel Williams. Then you can also save. Then right click on it to add another button here, which will be enable us to go back to our interface. So click on design view. We're going to add another button right here. Call it, it will be record the form operation. Open a form. Next we open the result management system form. Next, then we call it back button. Next, and then you finish. Make sure you have aligned your buttons to look good. Then you save it. You can open, enter form view. So you can see you have Gregory Johnson. Now you can click back. It will take us back to the result management system interface. So next we click on add subject. You can add mathematics. Save. Then we have English. Save. We have science. Save. Then we have Kiswahili. Save. We have SST, that is social studies in CRE. Then you can save. Then we right click here to open the design view. We add our button there for us to be able to go back. Form operation, open form. The form will be student result management system. Next, the text will be back. Then you click next. Then you can finish. Make sure you've aligned your work very well. Then you save your work. Then you can open it as form view. Then save and back. So we can continue and click on set total marks. Total marks, let's say it's 100. You can save. Right click on it, design view. We add our next button, which is back. Form operation, open form. Next, result management system. Next, the text will be back. Then click next. Then finish. Align your button. Then you can save your work. Open the form view. Still save. Then click back. So after doing everything right, we can now click on the result details so that we can be able to view our results details. So click on them. Then we have student 1. You can select the student that we just added. You can select the first one, Gregory Johnson. The subject, you can select English. Then we have, as you can see here, we have an error. It's saying composite 9. That means we had an error while creating our main query under the design view report, so we can correct that right away. Close all, then come on this and open the design view, which is right here. So the total marks going to write total marks and then save. Click save, then we close it. Continue now to our result details. Have English total marks. Don't have any total marks, you can set the total marks to 100, then you save it, and then click on back results again. Then you can say out of the 100 total marks, let's say he scored 80 marks. That is, you can say good work with an exclamation mark. Then add record. To doing so, you can now right click on it, design view. The button, I'm going to add back button, which is form operation, open form, next, click result management system, next, the text would be back, next, then you finish. Make sure you align your buttons to look good. That's better. You can save, then form view, which is just right there. You can click add record and back. So we can now be able to view our results report. So we click on results report, and here we have our results report. So then you can close all. Then this is our the user interface for our result management system. So if you don't want to see these tables here, you can simply hide them. Click on this. You can also hide the queries and the report, so you can only remain the forms here, so that you can be able to navigate through your system just by using the user interface form only. So this is how, or this is simply how you can be able to create a results system or result management system using Microsoft Access database. Please, you can always suggest on the next video to be released down on our comment section. And if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, you like, comment and share our videos, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when we release our next video, you'll be the first one to be notified. Thank you.